What is going on, everybody? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Hey, hey, hey.
Musketeers
in the house.
The Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers in the house.
What is the name of the Three Musketeers? I don't remember their names.
Oh, they had names?
I was about to call one of the Ninja Turtles and say Donatello. That's a Ninja Turtle, though.
No.
We're going to have to look that up. But what's going on, everybody? It's the Working People's Podcast, and James Hollingsworth is back along with my co-host,
Desharvine Sleek. Yes.
And
Jay Holly.
Woo, baby. And you are listening to the Working People's Podcast, where everybody desires to build generational wealth and a financial legacy for their family. And what we're going to talk about tonight is another hot, slap yourself in the face like Will Smith topic. And I already know that this might be the final episode of the Working People's Podcast because we might just get banned.
Uh-oh.
But we're going to be talking about, you see it in the subject right there, pygmies, wives, and eternal girlfriends.
Oh, Lord.
Anybody remember what the percentage of millionaires are married? Anybody remember that?
Was it 8%?
86.
86%. I said 8. I was making it lower.
That's low. That's like low.
Real low.
That's low. Deja, that's real low. Hey, Deja, remember the last show I was talking to Tyler, I think it was. It might have been Russ. I don't remember which one. And I kept referring to you as my co-host. And she was like, how he going to just elevate me? Next, I'm going to be his business partner and his producer. And
That's all right, Jay.
Booking manager.
I'm be doing this negotiations and everything.
Right,
James.
contract
Yeah, I got
signing.
you, brother.
Contracts.
Contract signing and
Well, no, he's tied up. No, he's not available.
He's not available.
You'll be in good hands, that's for sure.
Oh, that's funny. So I don't know how much is circulated around YouTube or Facebook, rather, but there was a video by Judge Judy, and I think you all might have seen it as well. I know I sent it to y'all, but I don't know if both of y'all got a chance to pre-watch it. But we're gonna show it to everybody so you can see it and listen to it. If we have to, we'll play it twice, and we want to have a conversation and a discussion about it. Because I guess to me, one of the takes I got out of it, you'll see, was talking about financial independence and women having financial independence. But let's play it. So, yeah, oh Jesus, here we go. So we can see what y'all think about it. Yeah, oh Lord, here we go. Yeah. So here we go. Let me bring it up. There we go. Here's the link. Open link. Okay, and I might have to play it again. Y'all can see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let it play out, and then I'll play it again so we hear the whole thing.
Use your career, but you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters, everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living. Once a woman gives up financial independence to a mate, it's over. You don't necessarily have to use your craft, use your career, but you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters, everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living. Once a woman...
I'll let it play one more time.
...independence to a mate, it's over. You don't necessarily have to use use your craft, use your career. But you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, then you're stuck. And more women have to accept lifestyles that are unpleasant because they are financially stuck. So if you're smart, you teach your daughters, teach your granddaughters. Everybody has to have something that they're good at where they can earn a living. Once.
Okay, so there it is. So, what are you all's thoughts? Let me get it off the
I'm
screen
taking
here.
some notes for myself.
Yeah, I can play it one more time again if you want me to. I just have to.
I don't necessarily need to hear it again, but it's totally up to you. Or if Jean feels like she wanted to be replayed, I'm just taking some mental notes.
That's good.
Because I know you and I kind of had the discussion earlier.
Yeah.
And I can start off if Miss Jean would like. So basically, I found that video was very interesting for a number of
Yes.
different reasons.
Yes.
As I told you earlier, I can kind of relate to what she's saying because my mother was a stay-at-home mom for many years. But again, that was years ago, early 80s, late 80s. Things have since changed drastically.
Yeah.
Most households are two-parent household. I don't know the percentage of those households that are both parents work outside the home or one of the parents is a stay-at-home mom,
Yep.
and now
Yep.
we're seeing stay-at-home dads too.
That's true.
So what I was, wanting to say is I can understand the advice that Judge Judy, who I just admire. She's just an
Oh
excellent
yes.
woman.
Oh yeah. You watch her all the time.
I
Yes.
love Judge Judy.
Oh
She's
yes.
fierce.
Oh
So,
yes.
what Judge Judy is saying is this: have your own skill set, have your own craft, whether it be through a trade, through education, whether it be through something that you just enjoy doing, that if you had a opportunity to turn it into a career path, you can. And the reason why I say this is that in the event of an emergency, if the husband who is the sole breadwinner is unable to provide for the family due to an unforeseen circumstance, what is going to happen to the household? Because now that income no longer exists in a
Yeah.
way that it did to stabilize the
Yes.
home.
Absolutely.
If the husband has to go out on a medical leave, he may get a percentage of his wages. And if it's an emergency medical, the family may not be able to prepare for that. But also, too, what if, God forbids, the husband passes away? Now the spouse is left to go into the workforce
Yep.
and not have any idea or skills. Having those skills tucked away in the emergency box. What I mean by that
Yes.
is
Ooh, I like
you
that.
have the skills so that they're readily available for you to use any event of an emergency. Do you recall back in the day we used to see those shatter and break in case of an emergency, kind of be, break the glass in case of an emergency? Well,
Yes.
that's what the mom can essentially do. She can have her own a set of skills that she can break the glass and use at any given moment if the need arises.
Facts.
Okay? So that was pretty much what I wanted to kind of bring to the forefront. I can understand the reason why Judge Judy is saying such a powerful statement, because we never know. Life happens. Life happens. So,
That. Oh man, Deisha, you're just an excellent coach. You have such a way with words.
Yeah, that emergency glass,
I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
that was awesome.
Thank
I like
you.
that.
what are your thoughts, Miss Jean?
When I initially heard the video, you answered a lot of the questions that I had because I was confused because it was like, in my opinion, she had so many. It was like I saw her what she was saying in like individual pieces, you know. And I was, and as a stay-at-home mom, first of all, that is one of the main concerns of that's. It's very uncomfortable when you're used to being in the workforce and then you become a stay-at-home mom for various reasons. My reason was to homeschool, but it's very uncomfortable. Those thoughts about him passing away, you know. So my emergency glass, when I break it, that's my life insurance that we pay for, you know, from the job and outside of the job. And I was in school and stopped going to college in 2008, and I only had like one class. So I still have experience in the workforce that I could tap back into.
That's good.
And while I'm staying at home, I could possibly finish that degree online just in case he does, something happens and he has to get out, you know, be off work or whatever. I can tap into my knowledge and go back to work. It's very uncomfortable thinking about. It's very scary to think about because we just got over COVID. That's why in the past podcast you would see somebody in the background, kids, because they were all quarantined in the living room at various points. But he missed a whole week. And you have to go through the paperwork to get quarantine paid. So the check that he received was not enough for the bill. So had to tap into the savings, which I don't like doing, but we had to in order to cover the things. So you answered a lot of the questions that I had in the confusion. It cleared it up for me because I initially was thinking, Dawn, I know we prepare for the bad, but at the same time, do we get married to prepare and have an egg nest, you know, a side egg nest just in case? Is that what we should be doing, or should we just trust? I mean, I know we have to have things lined up, okay? That's just across the board: life insurance, emergency funds, savings, various things like that. But when I initially heard her talking, I thought on the other end of preparing for the worst in the marriage, are you talking about? Because I hear women saying, "Girl, I take a part of my money and I put it in a secret savings or a secret egg nest for me." So I was thinking along that line, like, is that what she's talking about? Because are we getting married? I wrote down, are we getting married just for the sole purpose of that something's gonna bad happen? That was the first thought. I mean, that was the first thought I had. Like, okay, I know these normal things we're supposed to prepare for in life, even if we're not married. So when she said it, I was like, okay, are we preparing for the bad automatically? Like,
wow,
That's a good way to look at it.
That's good. Yeah. Now y'all know I went through the comment sections as soon as I watched the video, so I wanted to see what people was extracting out of it. And it's amazing how you can have 200 people listen to the same thing, and it's like it's no one way, clear cut way to look at it, right? And as I was going through the comment section, so many of the women were taking the position that Jean mentioned, like, is that the way that we should take it? But they were giving examples of a friend that they knew, some anecdotal experiences of something that may have happened personally to them. And they were saying about, yeah, girl, because, you know, you got to have a way of being able to take care of yourself if that man leave and if you ain't happy and you and so first thing I thought about was, well, number one, Judge Judy is about to be, in I think October, she's about to be 80. So she came from a time like my mom was 76 when right, 76 when she passed away, 77, 78 when she passed away. So there was a time when life was different, right? And one thing I thought about was there seems to be this old mentality that still hangs on and is around, where people think that that stay-at-home mothers are being controlled by their husbands because they're not in the workforce, or, you know, they're going to be left destitute. And all of that stuff is old, outdated thinking. And I think now that we're in a time where I celebrate women being able to work being able to have their jobs, careers, occupations, and find their purpose. That's even more important, in my opinion, finding their purpose, which can include, like in your case, Deja, as a business owner, right? But that takes on a lot of different images. It takes on a lot of different shapes and forms.
Right.
So one thing, as I was reading through the comment section, I was looking at a lot of the women, and it seemed to be like, look, nowadays we're talking about marriage-minded men. I don't want to talk about the Pookie and the Ray Rays, and I hate that seems to be, even when I make a Facebook post, we go right to that level of thinking when we start talking about men.
Okay.
It's like it's one little set and definition of men that we so accustomed to seeing, and so accustomed to dealing with, that we forget it's a whole nother pool. It's a whole nother pool. And men in that other pool that's really about something, and they're marriageable men, and they're successful, and they're being productive, and they're trying to build and grow and go somewhere. They don't want you stupid. They don't want you being dumb. They don't want you not knowing anything. They don't want you barefoot, pregnant, and in the kitchen cooking. They want you to have some skills. You know why? Because here's the thing. So many times now, it seems to be two things that really starts the conversation to go left and causes women to get seriously upset. The word submission, and then when you ask them, what do you bring to the table? Now, here's the problem with that. When we say, what do you bring to the table, what can you add to our relationship and what we're going to try to build together that's outside of your body parts? And if you want to be, and say you're an independent, strong woman, why would you be offended when somebody asks you about what other skills do you have that can help and build our relationship so that we can grow together? That's what the conversation is loaded with when that question comes about. So we want you to have some skills. We want you to be educated and intelligent. I'm talking about the men in the other pool.
Right.
We don't want you barefoot, pregnant, in the kitchen and not doing anything. Now, does that mean that you can't take some time off to raise the kids and the children in their infancy, their small, younger years? Absolutely not. So therefore, now you need a man that can handle things until you're able to spend that 2, 3, or however many years that you want to do that. But the statistic that Deja said she wasn't sure about, me and Russ talked about, 68% of the women that are married, they are in the workforce, in the labor force, 68%. And there are some statistics that even say as much as 70%.
Okay.
So the thing is, guys that are in that other pool over there that don't have the piss in it and all of that and the urine in it, they want you to have skills. So when they're asking, what do you bring to the table, maybe we can find a different way to word it. But in essence, do you bring something to this relationship outside of just, oh Lord, don't say that, James, outside of the things we can touch and feel and we want to experience when our socks are off? Right? So I liked what Judy was saying, but at the same time, when I went through the comment section, I saw exactly how a lot of the women were taking it. And they were taking it the complete opposite way.
Because the first thing I heard going back to the video, when she said, I wanted to know what do you believe she meant when she said giving up your financial independence. That's what stuck out. And I think for the women that was taking it that way, that's the first thing they heard was when you give up your financial independence. So you're saying, okay, so let's look at that. In my mind, when I heard that, I was like, okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Does she mean a stay-at-home mom or are we giving up our financial independence? And I based that question on because other people criticize me all the time about being a stay-at-home mama, and I don't have any control or say so over finances. That's
who controls the finances in your home, Gene?
I do.
Hello.
And too, Gene, and just hearing you say that, James and I had a conversation the other day, and he was like, Deisha, I just really, really look at the fact that you and Jean are the women who majority of women, want to be and
Yeah.
become. I
Opposite
said, well, what
Absolutely.
do you mean? Huh?
Opposite ends.
But yeah, but I said, James, why is that? And the way he explained it to me, it was just like, wow, really? Because I don't look at myself in that way,
Me either.
and you don't either. So, but listening to Judge Judy and just your takeaway from that, and I wrote that down too, of giving up, your financial independence. And maybe we can expound on what that may
Yeah.
look like.
I like
Because it's
this.
going to
Yeah.
look different
Yep.
for different people, right?
Yep.
Yes.
And what I wrote down also was, if you are not prepared, you will become stuck. So the question I
There we
took
go.
away from that was, when in doubt, you always want to prepare, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know, we all marry with the intent on being life partners, being married for life.
Yes.
Sometimes things take a turn. And if they take a turn, that being stuck could be, oh God, just being, let's say if I were the type of woman who didn't possess a skill level that will keep me able to make a certain amount of income to sustain a lifestyle that I've become accustomed to.
Yes.
So, being a stay-at-home mom, going back into the workforce without any skills, without any higher education degrees, I may have to start at an entry-level position. So I'm
Right.
going to have to scale back some things. Now I'm going from a two-check, or a household where, let's say my husband was making six figures. Let's just use that because that seems to be the going figure that everybody seems to want to make. So he's making six figures. And God forbid a young 20-some-year-old catches his eye and he say, I'm out of here, deuces, I'm gone. I'm going in the wind. So life happens, right? Now I got to start over. So if I don't have the skills that's going to enable me, I've been this stay-at-home mom for years and years and years. I have not stayed up to speed and up to date on re-educating myself, keeping up with technology.
Yes.
And if I go back into the workforce later in life, how fortunate
Yes.
am I going to be to walk into an entry-level position making the amount of money that he was making?
Yeah.
Yep.
It probably will more likely be that I would go in making way less,
Yep.
having to start over.
Yep.
It may take me, if I ever get to that point,
Oh,
it
yeah.
may take me a long time.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'm in crisis mode. He done left me for somebody. He done took his $100,000 and he going in the wind. I have to start over. I have to do what I have to do to make sure that I can put food on the table now.
Right.
Yep.
So that's what I took from her. If you are not prepared, you become stuck, because what happens is
Yep.
you got a lot of these wives or women who turn a blind eye to infidelity because they've become accustomed to a
Yep.
lifestyle that they don't want to give up.
Well, you better preach. I might put the first conversation. Oh, somebody else put a conversation there already. I was about to put preach in that comment section.
You see what I'm saying? That's
Yes.
what I think she mean by that.
Yeah.
The Beverly Hills women, the women that's on, what is those shows?
The Real
Married-
Housewives of
Housewives
Atlanta
of what?
Love
now,
Mm-hmm.
because they come accustomed to a lifestyle that they know they need his check to keep
Yep.
them, a part of. So that's what stuck means. Now you
Yep.
now you turn the blind eye to his secret sins, and you know he ain't no good. You know
Yep.
he over here and he got you on his arm, but when you turn your back, he got her on his arm, and he may have
Yep.
him on his arm. But you turn
Yep.
the blind eye to
Right.
that because you done got accustomed to this luxurious lifestyle. But you know if he walk out that door, you're not gonna be able to maintain.
No.
Look here. I want to say something because Deja, man, she fire. I keep telling y'all, she spit fire. Hey. So I want to encourage you all, though, ladies, if whoever ladies watch this, that typically a man We're talking about the other pool now. We ain't talking about Pookie, Ray Ray, and Junebug. All right? We're talking about the other pool. Typically, a man who is, if you're bringing value to that man's life, men ain't leaving you. They ain't going nowhere. Because they know how hard it is to replace you if you're bringing value to his life. That's why they want to know, what else do you have other than a BBL and some, oh God, Jesus, I got to remember I'm on, kids might be watching this. You know what I'm saying? If you bring in value to this man's life, he ain't trying to get rid of you. But that's another conversation. But I also wanted to say, and I'm glad Deisha brought some stuff up, is the whole thing, one thing that I got out of about being stuck is I think some people, they lose themselves. It's some kind of way they get like this fantasy mindset and they just lose themselves in another person. And we're supposed to be two complete 100% whole people coming together to complement each other, you know. And I think that's one thing that gets some people, they just lose themselves in this whole love thing. And love is way much more than the feeling. And if you don't understand that, when things get difficult and tough, the first thing you want to do is be like, I'm out of here. And guess what, Gene, man, you talked about it. What do you think the percentage between men and women as far as who leaving?
You know, we talked, and I told you, I believe it's women.
It is. It is.
Women.
And I'm telling you what statistics show. It's like 70-80%. And all of this whole thing about all these men cheating, okay, and I won't get into that. But look, let me slow down, because I'm about to let me slow down. All of these women talking about, well, he cheated and I'm leaving because he cheated. He cheated on me. I'm leaving because he cheated. There's the Institute for Family Studies show that as far as infidelity rates, the Institute of Family Studies, a lot of the statistics that we show for family dynamics show that as far as married couples, 20% of men, they determined cheated or had infidelity in the relationship, and 13% women. That's according to the Institute of Family Studies, right? Okay. Black demographics, I believe, had it at like 28% to 24%. So whatever statistics you're looking at, right, both sexes cheat. However, it's not this astronomical number that we think. Now, Russ and I did a video last night. You should watch that. The other night, a couple nights ago, and we talked about, what was the conversation we had with Russ? It was a house divided against itself, and we showed some statistics in there about what do families argue about the most. Yes. Number one was they argued about household chores and responsibilities. Number two, they argued about money. Number three was about children. Guess what was the very last thing on the list that they argued about at 4%? Anybody want to guess?
Cheating.
It was about another man or another woman.
Yep, cheating.
So very, very low percentages, right, of people that was arguing and having problems in their relationship because of another man or another woman. It was 4%.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say to you is, even if we go with the higher statistics of infidelity, which is across the board of all races, all ethnicities, 20% men cheat, 13% women, we see that will still leave 80% of the couples and the people that end up getting divorced is not because of infidelity.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So why are all of these women typically leaving their relationships? A lot of the times it has to do with money. All right.
Money, or the fact that they think they can find something better.
Hello.
The number one reason is internal issues.
Internal
issues that you want to hold your mate to, that really is your problem to fix.
Yep.
He's not your therapist. You got to seek a therapist to get some of those things. You know, whether it's an insecurity, that's not his problem. You know, we blame it on them and say, if it wasn't for you doing this, I wouldn't be doing this way. No, something inside of you triggers due to something that he may have done. It could have been something innocent. It could have been something that was bad.
Yep.
But it's all internal. Trying to think about, well, I'm not happy with him. This, and just naming an array of things that you feel is bad and that you can find and do better.
Yeah.
I can find someone else. I can do better, or I can do bad all by myself.
All by myself.
Oh yes.
Yep.
And that's
Yep.
what actually ends up happening.
Yep.
The cats.
And one more thing I want to say, because I was saving this for my drop the mic moment. Ladies, a lot of folk got upset with me months ago when I posted about prenuptial agreements. He just don't want you to have nothing. If you don't trust me, look, ladies, I'm trying to hope you. I keep telling you, I'm not that dude that ain't trying to hope you. I'm trying to hope you. If you concerned about, okay, if I'm gonna be off work while we had these children, and you feeling that way, go into the thing, go get you an attorney and ask him, can we do a prenuptial agreement while both of y'all happy? It's everybody thinks that it's supposed to come from this rich man who's trying to keep this woman from getting anything. That is not what the prenuptial agreement is for.
Nope.
It's to protect both of you all, especially you ladies. If you feel like you're coming in this thing and you're going to be vulnerable, so all these folks are talking about a man just want to control you. That's all he want to do is just control you. He want to keep you barefoot and pregnant, having 37 babies. He just want to control your life. He want to just make sure that you ain't got nothing, that you can't do nothing, that you ain't can't be nothing, that you won't find nothing, that you can't be go above something that you can't. And all you got to do is get you an attorney and say, let's sit down and talk about that. If for any reason this marriage is dissolved, or we reach a point where we have irreconcilable differences, we have already talked about it up front and made sure that we have determined how all of these assets are going to be divided. And we're going to do that while we happy, rather than trying to do it later when you're mad and you can't talk to each other and get along.
That's it.
It's for your protection too, so you don't have to worry about getting stuck. Because guess who the laws are more in favor of? It sure ain't in favor for me.
Women.
Hello? So you get your prenuptial agreement. You married a 6-figure man? You see that he's balling like that? He got it going on. He's an honest, hardworking man, and you're afraid that, this, that, and the other might happen. He might run off on you with, I need a good sexy name, not Jessie May. That sounds like a country, fat, overweight country, biscuit eating Jessie May. If you scared he gonna run off with
Alexandria.
Get your prenup done.
That is, yeah.
Does that make sense, ladies?
It does.
Because now you could decide right up front through your attorneys how these assets are going to get divided if there's a dissolution of the marriage.
Yes. And to be honest, James, too, basically a prenup is nothing more than a contractual agreement.
That's what I was about to say.
Contractual agreement that just spells out if there are any indifferences, who's going to get what. And like you say, you're more level-headed when you're in a good space. When you're, getting ready to go through the divorce, nobody's really thinking clearly.
No.
Because at the end of the day, you want what's yours. That other person want what they feel rightly belongs to them. But, the prenup, it just allows for the parties to, do that conflict resolution and hope that it doesn't have to be pulled out of that secret stash. And if it does, you know up front who's going to get what.
See, this is why I say people need to do studies, and they need to do your homework and stop listening to your girlfriend who keep telling you, child, girl, stop listening to them. I'm trying to help you. So, do y'all know that the more money men make and the more social economically people go up on the ladder, the least likely they are to get divorced?
Yeah, they have a lot to lose.
And it ain't even because of that. It's because, look here. Ooh, I'm about to get myself in trouble, but go ahead. I'm about to jump head first in the pool. I might as well go ahead and just Will Smith slap you right in the face. The reason why people of meager means, boy, clean that up. The reason why people of more modest and meager means tend to get divorced more is because of the mindset that they have. When folks are up on a certain socio-economic ladder, they have a different mindset about a lot of stuff. They tend to have better skills in working things out. Now, I know y'all gonna get mad at me. You trying to say cause we poor, we stupid? I ain't saying that. I'm saying...
What are you saying, brother? What are you saying?
What you said, bro? I'm saying that people from the hood tend to have less skills in terms of how to work things out appropriately. With that mentality, I'm talking about, right? That's what I'm talking about, a mentality. So the statistics show that people, the more that higher they move up on the socioeconomic ladder, statistics show that they tend to get divorced less.
So going back to what you were saying about the prenuptial, and you were referring to it as contract, a lot of people are gonna have a problem with, in my opinion, marriage is a contract.
It is.
It should be handled as a business contract.
That's it.
Because we are so busy teaching young girls, and it's not always maybe with the parents, but just society, how we represent love and how we want to just fantasize and just Cinderella and white what's the other lady?
Snow White.
Snow White and Tyler Perry and these butterflies and this your prince and your he's gonna come, Beauty and the Beast, Disney, and in actuality, love is not about butterflies.
That's
love
right.
is an action word. Okay, so if we can just change the mindset on how we view love and just, oh, he's so wonderful, oh, we can probably get through to people about prenuptials being more than rich and famous protecting our assets and don't want their wife to have it when they're divorced because they're planning on getting a divorce. And that's what people think. When you enter a prenup, they feel like, oh, you think we're gonna fail? We're gonna no. I know a couple that is married, that is not legally married, but they're legally tied together paper wise. And to me, that's very smart.
Yes.
They're planning to not break up.
Yep.
Absolutely. They're trying to build together.
Mm-hmm. So I talk about love and contract, so yeah.
So I'm just encouraging the ladies, if you want to go into a marriage, don't go into it getting your skill set up so you thinking about, I just need a fallback plan. No, your fallback plan is your prenup. It's your agreement. It's your fight. Get it written down with an attorney. That'd be your fallback. That way you can go into the relationship in good faith. Mm-hmm. Then when you get into the relationship, you bring in your skills into the relationship to help y'all together. Not just about you trying to make sure that you keep something in the back. So if this thing don't work out, I got to be something to No, bring that into the relationship to build y'all up.
Yeah.
We want you to have some major. Look, I'm planning on having some real estate, some businesses, and all this other stuff. I need somebody that can help me run this stuff.
That's right.
Oh Lord, I was about to say something. I need somebody who can manage properties. Who not to talk intelligently to our tenants, who ain't gonna walk up in there and burn the whole doggone $400,000 house down because a baby mama said, y'all ain't watched that video, I guess. I need somebody that can handle herself. And that means that I need a woman that's got some skills. I don't need her barely able to read and can't drive and she oh Jesus, oh boy, Lord have mercy.
Emotionally,
yes.
Mature, professional, business.
Yeah.
That's good. Emotionally immature.
Yeah,
She just all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Can't keep it together. Too busy trying to be watching
herself.
you while you out here trying to make money. She too busy trying to watch you, make sure that you ain't doing nothing wrong.
Right.
Don't know how to govern themselves.
A man knows how hard it is to find a woman to help him to build. You want to call it a kingdom? Call it a kingdom. I don't care what you call it. A kingdom, a castle, or a cottage. Whatever you want to call it. A plantation. Oh, Lord. Whatever you want to call it. A man knows that if he finds a woman that can help him to build that, you can't just replace her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my friend, she is
now, if you well, excuse me, but if you just in the relationship because your rectum is round, and you that's all you in it, and that's what you bring it to the table, and you offended because he asked you what else can you do and what else can you bring to the table. If you're in it for that, okay. Well, when the 25-year-old comes and hers is more firmer and rounder than yours because yours is sinking now and hanging from 45, 50 years of gravity pulling on it. Okay, then, if that's all that you bring it to the table, don't be offended. Hello? So stop being mad when a man wants to know what else do you know. What else can you do?
Did you say rectum?
I did.
James, you're going to get us canceled.
Did I tell y'all about the conversation? I put it in I ain't showed y'all this yet. The conversation, because did you ever heard of pick-me's before?
No, you be telling, Gene, he be coming up with all these words. I'll be like, what is that?
I've never heard it before.
What
Pick
is
me.
that?
I will show y'all this.
I thought he was saying pygmies. You know, like the African
Pig.
pygmies.
No,
That's what I thought you were
No,
saying.
he's like, pick me. I'm over here. Pick me. Right, James?
yes. Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Y'all crazy. Y'all so crazy.
Oh, boy.
So I had a conversation in this Christian singles group, and I'm gonna show it to you all. We're gonna go through it, and I want to get you all's take on it as we go through it. Right? I just want to, as we go through the conversation, I want to hear what y'all thoughts are. I'll tell you who is who talking. So this first post here, what we're gonna read is from the original, the young lady, who posted. This is her post, and then people start commenting to her post.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
We follow.
So, so this was her original post. All right. She said, "Good morning, happy Saturday." Deja asked me one time, "Why are you reading like that?" So the response to the guy I was supposed to go on a date with, when I told him my preference not to date anyone with kids, he said I was unqualified to be with a man with no kids, and I said and said I was a 2 at best.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Hold on. Now you got my full attention. I was responding to a text.
I got your full attention after that. I hope you didn't mess your text up and then press it and sent it. It said something that you didn't mean to say. So
Hopefully I didn't say you were 2 at best.
He said I was unqualified to be with a man with no kids and said I was a 2 at best, shaking my head. He was definitely a wolf in sheep's clothing. Thank you, Lord, for the revelation early. Before I move on, y'all just can give me what your initial thoughts are.
Wow.
He said I was a 2 at best. Man. And they were supposed to go on a date. And she told him, well, I prefer, when they was talking in the initial conversation, she found out he had kids, and she said, well, I would prefer not to date anyone with kids. And he said, you ain't qualified to be with a man with no kids.
Wow.
You a 2 at best.
Oh, wow. Ooh.
Comment section. This was in the Christian singles group. Christian singles group. Come on, comment section. Where y'all at? Wow. Christian singles group. Bro, like, well, you ain't qualified to be with a man with no kids. You a 2 at best. Oh. Man, that's low.
Oh.
2 at best.
He didn't even say halfway 5.
No, he said a 2 at best. So as I'm reading through the comment section, that's my addiction that I can't get over. I need therapy. Keeps pulling me into. I came across this comment. Y'all see that? Mm-hmm. You want to read it, Gene?
Kevin Samuels?
Yeah.
Has seriously poisoned the mind of some of these men. Shaking my head.
Yeah.
I knew that was coming.
You knew it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
So now who was that comment from? Was it from the original author, the lady? Or
this comment now is from somebody in the comment section that responded to her original post about the guy calling her too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, yeah. So now as I'm going through the comment section, like my addiction, like I say, pulls me into, I came across this comment from a young lady, said that Kevin Samuels has seriously poisoned the minds of some of these men. Shaking my head. Okay. So now I responded. Gene, you see my response? Mm-hmm. I just you want to read it? I'll let you read it.
No disrespect, my sister, but Kevin Samuels was just one man. He ain't God, and men are not so feeble and weak-minded as to where we can't think for ourselves, even if some of those thoughts may be common amongst many men, same as for women. Men have been around way before Kevin Samuels, and now that he's gone, we'll continue to be around in existence. And black men are strong, confident, and intelligent. Just thought I'd add a little clarity.
All right, brother.
Smiley face. Now I'm thinking that I, spoke very eloquently. That's what I'm thinking.
Respect,
right? Mm-hmm. And then she responded back, the one who wrote the post about Kevin Samuels that seriously poisoned the minds. She responded back and she said, "That may be, but my statement still stands. I didn't say capital every man. My statement was clear and it is true. Kevin Samuels," now she put this joker in quotations. "Kevin Samuels has seriously poisoned the minds of some of these men." Shaking my head. So I came back again. Gene, you want to read that one?
Just a question. So you would rather focus on those some men? So we shouldn't just gonna keep giving shine and spotlight to the dudes like this guy that decided he was going to call the sister a two because she wanted something different? By some, I gather we're talking about the majority. So why can't we talk about those other men and how they move and operate as men? Because they are out there. Here.
I know that's right. That's right.
I'm thinking that I'm talking intelligently to the sister. I mean, we're in the Christian singles group, right?
Christian singles. Mm-hmm.
So she came back and responded, "That's great and all, but this comment was on this post about this man and his foolishness. So
no, that's not what she said. That's a contradiction to what she said initially. She said some men, but she's saying it's returning to this about this man.
Right.
Okay.
Right. That ain't what she originally said. That's what I brought up.
Was on Kevin Samuels and grouping all men, up in that in that category, trying to say, because of Kevin Samuels, he got men seriously poisoned the minds of men. So she kind of backtracked a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you saw my original comment to that was what? In a nutshell. What did you take out of my original comment?
We've been around before Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
We've been saying these things.
Around.
And we've been saying these things. You all just wasn't listening.
Right.
Well, yeah, and men can think for themselves independently outside of Kevin Samuels. He doesn't necessarily represent what every man thinks, even though we all have some common things that we do think alike, just like women do.
Just like women, we do.
But he can't necessarily, you can't say, well, he done poison the way we think. No, Kevin Samuels ain't poisoned the way we think.
Right.
So then it starts going left.
Okay.
And that's what I said. So, yep, just as I thought. We'd rather make this young lady's post about Kevin Samuels and this clown that represents some men rather than encourage her to not compromise a standard that she has to get her outcome of marriage and having her own family that she wants. Because you do know her post was more than just about the knucklehead dude.
Wow.
That's good.
And here we go.
All righty, James.
So she responded back. Anybody want to read that one? Oh, Lord.
I can
Where's
take
it
it. I can take it. So, yep. You only read one of my comments instead of the others I wrote, and you want to jump to conclusions about what I would rather do, in quotations. So you would rather make this post about how you know better about what I should have said instead of writing your own encouragement yourself. How about you write the comments to the OP,
The other people.
the other people that you want to write instead of spending time attempting to police or lecture me about what I could or should write. If the point of your thread was about the good guys that exist, you're making the absolute opposite point by your actions.
What?
Wow. Well, okay. So she said what she said, huh?
She said what she said.
Woo.
And now, if that ain't bad enough, if it ain't went far enough left, we might as well go on and just put it all the way to the left.
Go on and knock it in the park.
So I came back and said, gotcha, sister. You're in a public forum just like I am and everyone else here. Now, mind you, it's 280,000 people and growing in this group.
Okay.
And guess how many men is in this group?
How many?
At the time of this post, 40,000.
Wow.
So that means the rest are women, 240,000 women.
Wow.
We are all subject to having someone comment to what we post, respond to, and comment on. If you want to call that policing and lecturing, so be it. There is absolutely nothing that I have said to you derogatory in any way. My aim has been very clear to focus on the positive and not the negative because we have a lot of that and so much of that as it is. And hinting and throwing shade at me, especially based off of my initial and subsequent comments and conversation with you, is a pretty big stretch.
Yeah.
Still being respectful.
Now, she comes back again, Deja, instead of
worrying about what I'm doing, focus on yourself and the one, what's that, Harding?
Harding or Loving?
Yep, loving.
Okay,
Yep.
loving all your comments because, focus on yourself and the one loving all your comments because clearly she wants your attention.
Oh.
So the original girl who posted the original comment, she came through and she's been reading all of the comments, and it's like over 300 comments now. She's been reading and going through and interacting with everybody. So she started liking and pressing the heart button on the things that I was saying and responding.
Okay. So now we're getting to the pick me, huh?
Right? That's what we're about to get into. So now the young lady who sees that, right, who I've been talking to, who made the original Kevin Samuels comment, now she says, instead of worrying about what I'm doing, focus on yourself and the one loving all the comments because clearly she wants your attention.
Uh-oh.
Talking about the girl who initially said the man
Yes.
she was a two.
Yes.
Okay.
Talking about the girl who originally wrote the post, who has been reading all the comments, and it's over 300 something comments, and she's been reading everything and interacting with people, and she started liking and loving, putting the heart button on the things that I was commenting, right?
Okay.
So now, here is the young lady who wrote the original post decided to respond, the one who got called a two.
Okay, so
Right?
number 2 says, everyone has their own opinion, so there's no need to be rude. Men has been like that since the beginning of time, so Kevin Samuels has nothing to do with this. Respect the dead, please.
Because he had passed away by then.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels did. So now, here she comes back. Go ahead, Deja, read that one. Now she comes back.
Respect the dead, girl. He's the exact same man that would be calling you a two, right alongside this clown. Respect the earned. Wait, what'd she say?
Respect is earned.
He didn't give any to others. He didn't earn it while he was alive, so he doesn't deserve it because he's dead. So she's saying Kevin Samuels would have been calling her two also.
Yeah, that's what he said.
She was like, F Kevin Samuels. She was like, F Kevin Samuels. F Kevin Samuels. I don't give a doggone he dead. I don't care if he dead. F him.
And this is a what?
A Christian singles group.
Woo.
You ready for and you still thought we had left it far enough?
Wait a minute, still going more? Oh,
It's
Lord.
about to go left even more. You ready for this one?
Oh, I'm about to pass out.
So now this is the young lady after she came at her like that. This is the number two. I hate to call her that, but this is to help us keep track of the conversation. She responds back in a very, very polite manner. And this is what she says. Go ahead and read it.
Let's just continue to pray for her. I understand where she's coming from.
Where me.
Oh,
She
where
understand
you're
where
coming
I'm
from.
coming
Okay.
from. Yes. Right? So she said, well, let's just continue to pray for her. I understand exactly, I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Talking to me. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She shouldn't have said that. You know how it is when you tell a saint when they already offended, I'm just going to pray for you.
Ooh, look on the paper by saber. Ooh, paper by saber.
Comment section. Where y'all at?
Ooh, she paper
So now
by
she
saber.
told the young lady, the good Christian, I'm going to pray for you. Uh-oh.
There you go, Miss Jean. Take it away.
Ma'am. I know she about to go in because she said, ma'am. Ma'am, you're the one who made a post all despondent that a man called you a two. Laughing now. Ooh. Now you got the nerve to throw shade like James. Let's pray for her. Woo! The pick-me-ness of it all. Just go ahead and slide it to dude's DM already.
And this is a Christian single.
Yeah.
They paper Bible saved.
Now, what was despondent about the girl's original post? Do we need to go back to the original post?
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Did anybody get anything despondent that she was saying out of what she originally wrote?
Oh my goodness. Oh.
But now girlfriend
That
is
man called-
offended. But if you ask her, are you offended? She would clearly say, no, I ain't offended
The pick-me-ness.
of it all.
Ooh.
Just go on ahead and slide into dude's DMs already.
Well, first of all, this is a Christian Mingle group. And aren't we supposed to be picking people and meeting them?
Yeah.
So why is she in there? Don't she want to be picked too?
Yeah, of course. That's why she in the group too. Along with the other 240,000 women.
Ooh, wee.
But you can obviously tell she's triggered by Kevin Samuels.
Got it. Yeah, definitely.
So if anybody not sure what the definition of a pick-me is, there you go. That's the definition.
So the definition reads, according to the Urban Dictionary, a pick-me is a person who begs for the attention, acceptance, and approval of a certain group in different things they say. In most cases, it's to attain the attention, accept, and approval of the opposite sex. While the description is gender neutral, this is definitely an adjective aimed at women. I've never heard of a pick-me. Never.
So it's definitely not a compliment.
Not at all.
I am clutching
Wow.
my imaginary pearls. Oh my goodness.
Pick me, James, pick me. Wow.
Oh, now we're going back to elementary school.
Elementary school.
Dude, they probably get messy in them groups.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And this is something that I heard a preacher say, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he was so accurate. And I've said it in some of our videos. When men get in groups like this, I'm talking about marriage-minded, the kind of man that you say you want, ladies, the kind of man you say you want. Guess what they're doing? They're doing just like me. They lurking in the comment section, just reading to see, kind of feel you out, to see what you're about. And if you start acting and talking crazy like that, guess what you just put yourself into the category of?
Did not pick me.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you what you just put your
What is it, a lifelong
Yep.
girlfriend?
the eternal girlfriend. You just put yourself in the category of being an eternal girlfriend. And if you think pick-me's are bad, try being an eternal girlfriend, because you definitely don't come across as being a wife.
Wow.
She is the true definition of listening to respond and defend, because You're in a single. I'm outdone. You're in a singles group,
Christian.
Christian singles group, and you're supposed to be marriage minded and wanting to find someone, but yet you're calling someone else to pick me because they don't agree with you. I thought you all were in the group to be picked.
To be seen. And then let me tell you what one of the scriptures they always be quoting. You know what the Bible says, a man that finds a wife finds a... Okay, well, if he looking for one and he see you talking like that,
Sis might as well go on and get in another group.
Start a group called, start a Facebook group called Eternal Girlfriends.
yeah, just start a Facebook group.
Just call it what it is.
Eternal Girlfriends.
You always just being combative for no reason, just confrontational for no reason.
Now, when you say that, I can't say that, Gene, because if I say that, then I become misogynistic. I don't like women. I'm gay. I'm this, that, and the other. If I say, why do sisters? Why y'all got to be so combative? All I did was said, hey, men can think for ourselves outside of what Kevin Samuels said. Well, you so triggered by Kevin Samuels, though. Oh, I should have came back and asked her. So, how tall are you?
What's your dress size?
Dress size. And then she really would have been triggered then.
Yes.
How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
You didn't quote him or anything. You didn't quote
No.
what he said. You didn't say you agree with or disagree
No.
with. You just...
She should have been giving all that heat to the guy who called the lady a two instead of
Right.
attacking you.
Yeah. And then when the lady just said, well, I understand where you were coming from. Oh, Lord.
What got it was let's pray for sis. That's what got it.
That's what got it. Pray for me. I don't need no prayer.
That's what got it right there. Oh,
Pray for your doggone self.
I figured y'all would get a kick out of that. That's why I didn't share that with y'all until we just came on the show. I didn't want y'all to know.
Gave me a headache. Ooh,
We got a couple comments in the section, James.
What did it say?
Let's see here. It says, James, you made her mad, but they always bring up they hated Kevin Samuels for a lot of truth about most, not all, modern day women compared to back in the day. But he was a little harsh on his delivery to some women that wasn't his type, but most, not all of them, didn't even want correction.
Wow, that's a good comment.
And that was by Jay
Yeah.
Emerson.
Yep. Jagger. Thank you, Jagger. Man, that was a great comment. I got a heart on that one. Y'all got to give Jagger some hearts on that one. That was a great comment.
I got a question because, I wanted to say this earlier when we were talking about the video with Judge Judy.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of us have taken classes, whether it was a course or some type of certification with, communication, oral communication, how to communicate, whether it was college or, a professional development course through a job or whatever. And, they kind of tell you about key words that stand out to you, and it gives you a tone, you see a tone. And that's why a lot of people, may have a problem with texting because they don't know how to communicate where their tone doesn't sound like me. I can tell by certain things what the tone is and what they're meaning and whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at her comment, and and I do this all the time. I look at keyword like despondent, and when Judge Judy says stuck or financial, giving up just key things. And I think that's what a lot of us have an issue with. When I'm a realist.
Yeah.
My children complain about me and my delivery all the time because I'm a realist and I don't sugarcoat a lot of things at all. So, but I'm learning to use keywords so people won't take it the wrong way. And some people are going to still take it the wrong way, but I just try. So I think on social media, people kind of deliberately give that tone to be like, hey, I'm disagreeing, and they don't like Kevin Samuels for many reasons, but his delivery. I always heard that his delivery was harsh.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear it harsh or real reality truth. They want to live in fantasy, I believe. So I don't know if they would have accepted what he said if he had been Nicer. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Just go ahead, yeah.
They probably
mean-
would have tried to discredit him then too.
If he had said it, nicer but the same things, would they hate him still? That just came to my mind, like communication.
Well, I told Deja, I actually told her who said it. I opened up and finally told her who it was that told me that and said that to me. But we've been on this show quite a few times together, right? And Gene, you know me. Deja, you getting to know me as your friend and brother, your best friend, best dude friend. Hey.
That's right. Buddy.
And people tell me all the time, you just so negative. All you do is just pour cold water on our dreams and our hopes. Okay, so I'm your friend. I love you. We love each other in a friend platonic way, and we buddy old pal. We've been knowing each other for 20 years. So I'm just supposed to just, good girl. Yeah, girl, just... No, I'm not going to do that to you because I don't want you doing that to me. Tell me the truth. TRUFF. Tell me the truth. Don't be lying to me and then say you love me. No, you don't.
Yep.
Don't say you love me and we friends and then you're lying to me in my face.
Right.
So I'm not going to do that to nobody. And I'm going to tell her my words. I ain't going to be rude. But I'm going to tell you the truth. And I had a friend. Look, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't know how many women I've talked to over the year. There are letters I can go back on my computer
I do.
and send to show you that I sent to family members before they had children, before they got into the situations that they've been into. My sister, been a confidant to her before she had any kids. Been like a not just a brother to her, been like a father to her since our dad's been gone.
Yeah.
So I love women, and I love my family and my friends and people I'm around. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you out of situations because I know how men think. And I know that when you get your okay, I'm going to say it. When you get your sweet, beautiful self out there dealing with certain dudes, you ain't nothing but a toilet stool. All you are is just somewhere for him to get a biological release at. I'm trying to help you. Some dudes are like that, but oh no. He got swag, and he making certain parts of yourself tingle. Right? So you want to get out there. I told you. I had a conversation with some of them and tell them that all I need to know is what was y'all first conversation about, and I can tell you everything you need to know about that dude. And I do that and have done that hundreds of times for different women. I've told them I could tell you who your husband is and never meet him. Right? And I tell you about, why do you have to tell the dude up front in the first conversation, well, I don't have sex before marriage? You're lying. Because if you really, really mean that, you don't need to tell him that the first conversation y'all have. And then you're having a conversation with the brother, and you say, well, I've been celibate, and you really need to say abstinent, because there's a difference between being abstinent and celibate. But okay, we're going to roll with celibate. I've been celibate for 2 years. Now, you telling him this, y'all first conversation. And then you ask him, well, what about you? What do you believe about, what the Bible and sex before marriage? You say, well, it's been 2 weeks for me. And then you say, well, yeah, I'm telling you about real conversations I've had with people. I ain't saying no names though, because they might watch this, right? And then they like, well, we've been talking, getting to know each other. We going out on a date at the coffee shop. I say, well, when you told the brother about you want to get married, what did he say? He says, well, he just want us to get to know each other and blah blah blah. No, look, sis. A man knows within 3-4 conversations, within 30 days, he know if he wants to marry you or not.
How?
So when you ask him about marriage and he say, well, I just want us to take our time, get to know each other, and just really, make sure that we right for each other. He lying. He bald-faced lying, and I can't stand that. I done said it up front. Can't stand that. Just tell sis what you want and let her make the decision, because nowadays they out here wanting the same thing.
Yep.
Just tell her. And ladies, why you got a problem with asking? You don't have a problem with telling him he got to wait 90 days or he got to wait to marriage. And guess what the brother will ask you? He will ask you. Well, if you say you don't believe in sex before marriage, guess what the brother gonna ask you? He may not ask it as straight as I'm about to say it like that, but how many of y'all know I'm telling the truth? He gonna ask you. Well, how long? Well, how long do I gotta wait? Well, how long? How long are you talking about? If you tell him you're gonna wait, he want to know how long. So if he want to know how long he gotta wait for that, why ain't you asking how long you gotta wait for marriage? But folks say, oh, you just be all over the place rambling. None of what you saying makes sense. It ain't even on topic. Yes, it is. It's on topic. You're going to be an eternal girlfriend because a man knows within 30 days. He certainly knows within 6 months if he wants to marry you or not. Ooh. And you need to find out and ask. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I know what the problem is. I know why you ain't asking.
Hold on, James. Hold that thought. So you mean to tell me if a woman straight up asks the guy, am I marriage material for you? Or do you see us getting married? Will that guy, if he's a stand-up guy, be honest enough to tell that woman no?
Yeah. Guys have told you. He told you, hey, we just friends. We just kicking it. They be telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, well, what does this relationship mean? What do we mean to each other? Where do you see this relationship going? Well, we just chilling. We just having fun. We just, I'm not looking for anything serious right now. How many times have you heard a man say, I'm not looking for anything serious right now? But yet you're going to convince him. It translates into, I ain't trying to marry you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just want to have socks off.
Yeah.
So that's the translation. This is what it is.
This is what it is. Mm-hmm. Why are you seeing something else in your head and interpreting something else and translating it like it's sign language or like it's shorthand?
Some of them done already picked out the venue, walking down
right.
the aisle and see themselves in the
That's
dress.
the problem, because you done already decided you want more from this man than what he done already told you he want. And now, guess what?
I can just convince him.
Thank you. And now you gotta thank you. Now you got a poor image of men, and you want to blame all of us. We in a whole nother pool. I don't even like piss. I don't even like my own piss. I ain't gonna be swimming in nobody else's piss. I'm over here in a whole nother pool, but you done lump me in with them, all because you. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord. Okay, go ahead, y'all take it. I'm gonna let y'all take it, cause now folk gonna say, there you go again. Pour cold water. I'm trying to help you.
When I was in St. Louis and I left the relationship and I went back out there dating, I got to the point, I got so sick of the lies, because there are people that are deceitful on purpose. I got so sick of the lies that when I would meet a person, I would say, okay, tell me everything bad about you, and I'm gonna tell you everything bad about me off the bat. I got so sick of it. I'm like, oh, they'll say one thing, I'm this and I'm that. I don't want you to tell me who you are. Just show me who you are. Mm-hmm. But damn sure tell me who the bad things about you, because I'm going to tell you about the bad things. I just started with the bad stuff.
Now I want to jump in real quick. Because I want to really nail that down, what she just said, and put the stank on it. Look here. A man, let me make sure I get this right, because I don't want to forget it. What were you saying, Jen? Because I don't want to forget my thought. You were saying about...
I just told him, I said I want to know all the bad stuff.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you the bad stuff, because I don't want you telling me how great you are. I want you to show me how great you are. Mm-hmm. And, people always brag about all the good things about them, but they don't show that. So I just wanted to know up front the bad things. Just tell me all the bad, negative things about you, that you got 5 kids, just tell me everything.
Got you. Okay, so here's what I was going to say. So remember, I've said this, Jamie, and you were having a conversation. I said, and this is my problem. If I would have any problem with Judge Judy, this is my problem. And I know you can't cover everything in a little short 30-second clip, and because I know what the purpose of that clip wasn't for this. But black women in particular, we already know. It ain't no problem. We already know for centuries, for years now, we've been talking about get your education. So that's a given for us, right? It's not like it's outside of the ordinary.
Right.
Get your education, go to school, get your degree, get your career. be a strong, independent woman. That's not the problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem is. We're not teaching you how to be a wife. Now, before you run out and start screaming at me in the comment section, let me tell you what I mean by that. It's okay to do all the other stuff. But on that list should be also teaching you about what it means to be a wife. And I'm going to tell you why. You ready for this? Here comes the drop the mic moment. It's because if you are a wife, I'm talking about if you are a wife, you ain't going to be falling for no foolishness. Could it be the only reason why you're falling for the foolishness is because you haven't done the work on yourself to be a wife?
Wow.
Because a wife going to see that stuff coming from 10 miles away. She is only going to deal with marriage-minded men. A wife will know how to vet a man, and she will have other men in her life to help her to do that. That's why I'm saying we need to teach our young girls how to be wives, along with that other list of other stuff.
Yeah.
So that they won't be out here talking about, I got tricked and deceived. You a bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He showed you everything about him.
Yep. Yep.
Flags red all over the place. And then a guy like me, how many times have I talked to a woman, told her I wouldn't do that? I ain't never met the dude and I'm trying to tell him.
Yeah.
And guess what they do? Socks off, legs off. I'm just saying. And then they come back hurt, upset, and now even with a lower self-esteem and a lower image of men.
And they got another soul tie.
And another soul tie.
Healing on that.
Right.
You know what though, James? You right, because when I was married to my first husband, and once we, after we ended that relationship, divorce, and Dave and I began dating, being that I was married before, it was hard for me to transition back into the girlfriend, even with the title, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was accustomed to the title of wife. Mm-hmm. So being referred to as a girlfriend now, that wasn't what I had been accustomed to for the 10 years prior. So it took some readjusting on my part. But even, with our relationship, he was ready to marry me earlier before I was able and ready to. I had to go through my healing process.
Yes.
Before I took that step of faith again. Because we could have been married much earlier than we ultimately got married. But at the end of the day, it was his desire, to get married earlier. And he respected the fact that I said, no, I have to heal first.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh,
that's good. Ooh, that's good.
All of it, when we talk about these issues, unhealed traumas.
Mm-hmm.
Based on our experiences of disappointments, heartbreak,
Yeah. A marriage-minded man can't stand seeing broken women. You know why? Because if I'm out here trying to find a wife, that hinders me being able to find one. Mm-hmm. I can't stand when men messing over women. Mm-hmm. Because that hinders me being able to find a good one. And if you think I want to be your therapist, I don't, and I'm not going to be. I said it in another video. Y'all need to start watching these videos. I said it. I'm out here trying to be a six-figure man, build an empire, make $1 million, go to church, be saved, wait to marriage for sex. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm slaying demons. I'm killing devils. I'm praying for Jesus and all the apostles. I'm a prayer warrior. I got a healing anointing on my life. I'm a community activist. I do jail ministry. I go down there to minister to the homeless shelter. I'm doing all of this. And then I got to come home, help you take care of the kids, wash the dishes with you. Then we're going to sit there and rub your belly, and and we're going to pray together. We're going to pray together. We're going to go on trips together. We're going to do all of this stuff. I got a 401k, an IRA. I got another account for HSA. I got all of this money that I'm building up. I got visions for the future. I'm a man of passion and dreams, and I'm a man that knows who I am in Jesus. And I'm an ambitious man, because you want an ambitious man. I'm all this stuff. And then on top of that, you want me to be your therapist. And then when I ask you, you want all that. And then when I ask you, well, what do you bring to the table?
What's your name?
Girl, if a man asks you what you bring to the table, run. That means he broke. I'm going to tell y'all right now. I ain't telling you what I got, but I'm telling you right now, James Hollingsworth ain't broke.
Wow.
And the man just ask you, well, you want me to be Superman? Can you at least be Catwoman? Something.
So, brother and Deja, I have my own opinion on what I think, but I want to ask you all a question. When you all were talking, we were talking about, teaching our young women these things, right?
Yes.
And a lot of us that have gone through all these things that we are trying to prevent you from going through, whether it's our nieces, our little cousins, our own children, our daughters, granddaughters, why do you think they feel like they have to learn things on their own and experience it for themselves in order to learn?
Oh, Lord.
Although we've got the blueprint already on the disasters that's going to happen, but I got my own opinion, but I would like to hear what you all think about that.
It just really goes back to it seems like it was no different than us, most of us growing up.
Facts.
Sometimes a lot of people want to test the waters. They don't believe. Remember that old saying, fat meat is greasy? It's like the more we try to tell them, don't touch that stove, it's hot, the more they're going to want to see for themselves. Why that is, I don't know. And I'm gonna tell you this, like with my middle son, he was away at college. He's back, had a scholarship to do sports, and by all accounts, he went off and he wasn't really ready, right? So he's back home now. He was actually been home for a couple months, and my oldest son told me, he said, "Mom, get off his back." He said he'll get it. I said, well, I don't want him to wait too long to get it. But I realized once I stopped pestering him, telling him get back in school, when are you going to register, he finally had to do it himself. And he came to me and was like, "Mom, I'm signing up for classes for the fall." I said, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I met with my wrestling coach and I'm pretty excited." I realized the more I was pushing him in that direction, the more he was going in a different direction. So I had to let up off the gas a little bit.
Yep.
Amen.
Ooh, Lord Jesus.
I've done that too. So yeah. What you think, Keithy?
Jesus.
James.
Oh, Lord. I got a number of thoughts about that, but I'm gonna keep it simple. I think number one, we gotta trust that whatever we planted is gonna reap the harvest of what we planted. I think when we start harping on them and getting on them, we haven't really trusted our parenting.
Yes.
I think we haven't really trusted the seed that we planted, and we got to trust the seed we planted. We know what seed we planted because we planted it.
That's right.
We know what lessons we taught them because we are the ones that taught them. So I think we need to have a level of trust in that. Number two, I think we need to start earlier. I think one of the things is this perception as if kids are not learning from the moment that they enter this world. We got to start early. We got to start pouring whatever life that we see for them in the future. We got to start pouring that into them when they're little, before they can even start talking. We got to start framing their life then. And I think we need to start earlier. I think we let other people train our kids before we start.
That's good.
Because guess what? They are getting trained.
Oh, yeah.
And then we send them off to preschool and all this other stuff, and they start they're learning as they interact with other children.
Yeah.
And everybody's children don't have the same value that you're trying to teach yours, especially now. Right? Especially now. So I think we need to start earlier, really start instilling the values that we want our children to have. Start instilling them even before you think they're learning it. That's the second thing. And then finally, I think it comes down to this going to be hard, but I'm going to say it.
Come on.
It's going to be hard. Y'all ready for it?
I'm ready.
perhaps you need to re-examine yourself. Because you can't tell them one thing and be doing something different.
That's true.
And if you try that, it ain't gonna work. You gotta model it. When you have children, this is the problem I have with that 70-80% of women leaving their husbands. You know, and you talking about, well, he did. Okay. I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole with you. I'm gonna keep this real pleasant.
Right.
Is you were thinking about your. I told a friend of mine, he's having a problem in his relationship. No names in here. And he had some other male friends telling him, man, I wouldn't take that, man. You could just leave, start over again, blah, blah. I said, bro, you got a daughter. If you leave your house, I don't care how tough and tight it get up in there, you lost the right to think about what you want the minute that little girl came in this world.
That's good.
Now, parents don't want to hear that. It's easier just to walk out of something rather than work on it. You lose the right to think about yourself first when you have children. Now, barring short of that man going upside your head,
Right.
we ain't condoning that. That's foolishness.
Right.
Right? All right? But you need to even re-examine your thoughts on cheating. Because when those children are small, they don't understand what offends you.
That's right.
Right? Those children need guidance. They do. They need guidance. And they need to learn more. Look, do you understand the lesson that you just gave? You just told them things are going to get tough on the job. They see you complaining about your job and all this other stuff, complaining about each other and arguing among you. They see this stuff. And you just told them the moment you left, talking about irreconcilable differences on your divorce decree, you just told your children that when things get tight in this world, you just told them one of the number one things that they need to be successful and to really talk about building wealth and all of this other stuff we say we want them to do. You just told them when things get hard, just quit.
Yep.
You just showed them that you ain't got to have good resolution skills. You just showed them a lot of stuff. And I told that man, my friend, I say, brother, I would lose respect for you if you walked out. I say, all you got to do is get that child up till she's 18, 21 years old.
And go your
And then if
separate
you
way.
decide you want to leave in after she's grown, okay, go do you. But how dare you talk about leaving and you had a 10-year-old daughter? I don't care how tight it get up in that house. You better stay yourself right there and raise your daughter. She didn't ask to be here.
Dang. Whoa. Wow.
See, and that's when it goes off the rail and people start talking about I'm pouring cold water because everybody else just goes with the flow.
Yeah.
You got to think this thing out, right? Think this thing out. Marriage ain't supposed to be a fairy tale walk down a rosy path and like here down the yellow brick road, the yellow, like, you know, like this is an episode of you know, Michael Jackson and what's her name, Diana Ross and the Wiz.
Marriage is
Come on in, he's on down the road. Right? It ain't supposed to be that. It's supposed to be two people. You gave your vows. You're talking about better, worse, and richer, poor, and all that.
When they get worse, you want out.
You just want out. You're talking about you ain't happy. You gave up the right for. See, y'all don't want to hear this, and this is when people start hating Kevin Samuels because they would listen to little clips, and he started talking about things like, "What do you mean being happy? What about them? What about these kids?
Right. Yeah. Woo.
But you ain't happy." And the statistics show men ain't just leaving, running out on their families like that. But that's been the stereotype and the narrative spun on black men for years. They go into prison, they all in jail, they on drugs, and they deadbeat dads. And it's easy. It's easy. Okay, I'm going to make it personal. And I'm going to stop yelling. But it's easy for a woman when she want to get out to say, well, he cheated on me, he beat me, he did this to me, when they want to get out. And they've already seen a nest getting built somewhere else, so they just want to fly on over out the nest that they in and land over in a nest already built, rather than trying to help build the one that you're in. And this is when the conversation starts getting real tight and tough, when you start saying those things. Brothers, men, we may not say it and talk about it a lot. We don't have no respect for a brother that leaves his family. Zero.
Wow. Those are both good, great answers, because it became really personal, and it touches me in a lot of ways, what you all are saying. So, yeah. I think people see, they see people on a podcast and they think that we're all being all knowing and perfect life, but no, everything that we speak about is personal to us sometimes.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
It's definitely our story and our narrative too.
Yep.
Ooh. Ooh, Josiana. Because these women want someone to take care of them while they sit at home with feet up, and that's why.
Yep.
So all I'm trying to do is hope you. I want people. Look, I'm going to go back to it. Black people. Statistics show Black enterprise and entrepreneur, two reliable sources. We only hold 2% of the millionaire population in this country. I keep saying it, and I'm going to continue to say it. Statistics show that 86% of millionaires are married. We got to get back to building families. We are only presently 30% married. Black women, 27% married. And you keep waiting longer and longer and longer and longer to even say yes or no or whatever. And it's not impressing me and any other man when you start telling us how many times you've been engaged. We start actually probably thinking you're crazy.
Wow.
That should just come off your resume. I've been engaged 3 times. That should just come off your resume. Women, you have in your control. It's all your control. Who you say yes to and who you say no to. Learn what a marriageable man is and fall in love with his character.
We talked about that yesterday, remember? With one of the people that I said you should follow, the woman. Yeah, she talked about that.
Yeah, so you said you want a husband, right? If you want a husband ain't the same as that dude that's, trust me, I'm trying to tell you, you got to have conversation with the man, no. But right off the rip, he ain't my type. DJ, you want to talk about that? Maybe you could talk about that. That whole he ain't my type thing.
Oh yeah, that was my thoughts.
You ain't even talked to him. I had no conversation with it yet, but he ain't your type.
Right.
Friends
My
only.
husband, yeah, when we met, we were working together, pretty much in different areas. He was a union worker. I was a salaried employee, but we would cross paths and not realizing that I must have caught his attention, and
you must have.
I must have, right? Totally opposite of my first husband. My first husband, shorter in the sports, a little bit more stockier built. My current husband, is over 6 feet tall, slim, wears glasses. He was in the band. That's how opposite they were. Had one that was a basketball player, pretty good at basketball.
Yeah.
The first husband. My current husband, he
was
played
in the band.
He played drums. A really good drummer. But and a friend of his was like, he's. Do you know Leek? I was like, well, who? Oh yeah, he kind of likes you. I'm like, him over there? Oh, okay. Wasn't thinking anything about him, but he asked me out to go out to lunch, and went out to lunch, and it just went from there. And I wouldn't trade him for anything. I would not trade him for anything.
That's good. That's awesome.
That's why the ladies on here, because when I say it, people take it one way. So I want y'all to hear it from them.
Well, I've been saying it for years. They friend zone them all the time. They friend zone their mates all the time. They're married. Their husbands and wives are right around in the circles that they are in. right now, but they're friend zone. In actuality, your mate should be your friend.
Hello.
So why are you thinking opposite, that this man who's there for you, he has the keys to your house, he has the key to the alarm systems, he has your banking information, you all have and share all these things. Whenever you call him, you need a flat tire, he's there, he bring gas, you got 3 kids, and he's
Sound like a husband to me.
right. So he when he brings food for you, he's like, hey, do the kids need anything? Oh yeah, you know what, you know they're friends. But that's your mate. That's what a mate does. What the friend is doing?
And then the part that kills me is when they say, well, I just don't want to ruin our friendship.
That's so stupid. I'm sorry. That's really stupid.
She said it. I didn't. She said it. I ain't say that. I didn't say it this time.
Or we're better off as friends.
Oh, yeah. We're better off as friends.
But every time you get hurt by that joker or a different joker, you come crying to me.
Yeah, that
But
one. Right.
We better off as friends. Oh, okay.
Right.
But you know what happens a lot of the time in those situations? It's not until that guy finds a woman or gets into a serious relationship, falls in love, and get married, that she realized that could have been me, or now I missed out. But by then, you know, it's too late.
Yeah.
Ladies, I'm going to say this, and the brother's going to get mad at me. There's a lot of really good men out here. And every time I post something on Facebook, I just sit back and watch the responses to come in.
Ooh, like that last one you did. Ooh.
There's a lot of brothers out here that are marriageable and marriage quality. You just got to get out of that stanky pool that you're in and go over and try to find another pool.
But what do you say about the women who, when you say that, they say, well, they're not picking us?
That's when it comes into, this is when it goes left again, because this is not what we've been traditionally taught, you know, because you the prize.
Right.
Do we need to go down that road?
Yeah.
DG, you want to help me with that one? Because you the prize.
Yes, Lord. Girlfriend of mine's almost cost me my husband. Hollering about some you the prize. We had got into an argument early on, and you know she married. And I was talking to her, consulting with her. Girl, you just better let him know you the prize. So I pulled. Okay, so when we got into this disagreement, I told him I was, you know, I'm the prize. What you talking about? He let me slide in there once and use that. Second time, I was corrected. What you mean you the prize? Now I'm the prize. We both the prize. What you mean you the prize? So he corrected me early on. So it's like he told me, nah, sis, nah, you ain't gonna keep using that one.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. This whole idea of you wanting to be chased.
What's that?
It's about to go left real quick right now. This whole idea about man supposed to pursue me. What you mean pursue? Do you mean pursue or chase? Do you mean that he's supposed to present himself to you, try to have a conversation with? Well, stop playing hard to get. Those times are over. If you're interested in the man, you need to be receptive to him approaching you. Mm-hmm. Because a marriageable man, they move different. Marriageable quality, the kind of man that you keep saying you want, they move different. They don't operate in this. They don't think the same. They not the same. They different. Y'all got to get to know men and understand men. Have some conversations with some of these men in your friend zones. They've been telling you, but you ain't listening to what they saying because you still got. You would go and listen to your single girlfriends, and y'all go on girls trips together, talking about men, having just a whole, y'all done formed a whole opinion about what men like and what they want, and all y'all single.
Right.
And you got some men that you won't even ask, and when you do ask them and they tell you the truth, you just dismiss that. He just don't like women. No, we trying to tell you how men think. We different, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, let me backtrack and go back to what I was saying before I get off track. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is we men, it's this whole ideal like we don't want to get married is not true. So if you feel like you're getting overlooked, is it some things that you need to do some self-evaluation? Because think about it. You got this convoluted high opinion of who you are, and your friends keep pumping you up too. Y'all know how women do. I'm just keeping it real, but I'm trying to select my words, so I won't get banned. We done made it this far in this video. So then a brother approach you, but you way up here, and you the prize. And he can't come up to your level, because now you examining him like he's a doggone frog in your science class. Looking at him all crazy. And don't let him. That's why men don't approach you when you're with your friends. Because then all y'all be standing there looking at him crazy. Right? And then, now you nitpicking everything about him. The stuff that don't even make what a husband is. You need to get your husband list and get rid of that other list. You can fix teeth. Especially if the brother got some money. But you ain't even get that far. And then some of y'all don't even know what certain occupations is. Man say, well, man say he's a, like I had Tyler on the other day. Man say he's a healthy and safe occupational healthy and safe inspector. What's that? Now the man making the kind of money that you say you want a man to make, but because the title don't sound sexy. I'm just saying, y'all got to come up with a list that matters when it comes to what a husband is,
right?
And make that stuff the stuff that matters. When you want him a certain height, ain't nothing. But then you say you're a Christian woman, ain't nothing in the Bible about height. That's a preference.
That's right.
That's a preference.
He not my type.
He ain't your type because whatever the case may be. But you want us to accept you when you overweight. I'm keeping it real, and I know y'all don't want to hear it. And you probably gonna say, "See, he just like Kevin Samuels." You want us to accept you just the way you are, but you won't accept him the way he is, because you won't even give him the time of day. Look, women, y'all have the power to say yes or no. So if a man approach you and you got your preferences and he ain't your type, and you say no, don't get mad and say you getting overlooked.
Yeah. That's why it's important to have friends around you, like you held that guy accountable because you truly love the brother. And it's important for us as women to get the right people around us to
Absolutely
hold us accountable. People don't want to hear that because they say it's said too much, but I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into it a little bit. When my friendships, sometimes I do a lot of self-evaluating already, but sometimes I let my emotions, or we let our emotions get to us where we can't really see ourselves. Right. And I remember reading something that said, and I pulled it up. You can't read the label when you're sitting inside the jar.
Oh God! Ooh.
I can't always see myself. You can't read the label when you're sitting inside the jar. So I need people around me that when I'm off, when I'm not seeing myself, when I'm not seeing clearly, and I'm seeing just through my emotions, I need someone to say, hey.
Yes.
I have a single friend who has never told me, leave your husband, girl, I wouldn't take that. No. She says to me, okay, here's the way. Have you thought about this? Have you thought about that?
Yes.
When I'm wrong, oh, she say, now, Aubrey, now why you go and say something like that?
Yes.
Girl, why did you do that? So, that's what I have to say about that.
Look, just like you got to come be there and be with this man every day, he got to be with you every day.
That's right.
So one of the most important, every man got their preference on what they like in terms of the physical stuff, right? Mm-hmm. That's just the introduction, though. One of the biggest complaints of men is women's attitudes. Mm. He got to live with you every day. Mm-hmm. And I'm just keeping it real. Y'all want to know what a wife is? I'm going to show you what a wife is because I put this in the presentation. Proverbs 31. Are you ready for it?
That's good.
Oh,
Because that's what a lot of y'all keep calling yourself. I'm a Proverbs 31 woman, but you're single. The Proverbs 31 woman was married.
oh,
She was a wife.
ooh.
You want to know what attributes she had? Nothing about these attributes in Proverbs 31 had anything selfish to do about her and what she wanted for her.
Right.
She was serving people and doing things for her children and her husband and people in the community. Everything she was about trying to do something to help other people. But selfishness will keep you single when it's all about you and what you want. And then when you say, well, what is he going to get?
Say that one more time about the Proverbs 31 woman.
She was married.
So you mean to tell me all these women's conferences that I see posted on Facebook, the singles ministry of women, talking about the theme of their conferences is
Proverbs 31 woman. She was married. And this is the attributes that the Bible describes about her.
oh my goodness.
A wife, it says it right off the rip. Verse 10, a wife of noble character who can find. A wife. But yet, we want to teach her how to be a single, independent black woman that don't need a man. I'm trying to tell you, along with that list needs to be, let's teach our daughters how to be a wife.
That's right.
Yes, you could teach them how to make sure that they are financially independent, but you need to teach her how to be a wife so she'll know how to identify a man who's a husband.
This is deep, oh Lord.
A wife of noble character who can find. She is worth far more than rubies. What do you bring to the table?
That's right.
She is worth far more than rubies. And I said it earlier in this conversation. A man that has a woman that is valuable, that brings value to his life, he ain't leaving her. Her husband, you see this? Verse 11. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. Y'all need to watch these videos. Me and Jean just did one called what? Remember the one we did, Jean?
Oh,
The house?
hold on. I'm outdone by this. Hold on. A wife.
And what did that? Yep, you remember it?
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm stuck right here. But it was about a house built on love. Wait a minute. No.
Uh-huh.
A house built on love and
The house that love
built and destroyed.
destroyed.
Yeah, there you go.
The house that love built and destroyed.
Wow.
The woman got mad at the baby mama and they got into a fight. And she just, cause the baby mama accused him of cheating.
Yep.
They only been married since February. She went over and destroyed the $400,000 house. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. If a man is supposed to protect you and provide for you, guess what you're supposed to do for him? You're supposed to protect his purpose and you're supposed to protect his reputation.
That's right. Good.
She selects wool and flax. Okay, that's biblical stuff. Y'all ain't gonna be, I don't understand what that means. How about verse 15? She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She considers a field and buys it. You see that? She considers a field and buys it. She has access to this man's resources. And he trusts her enough where she can go out and find a field, something that's going to make their life better, and can buy it. Can he trust you with his credit card, or you going to go out and buy a Birkin bag? Y'all ain't ready for this conversation. Out of her earnings. That means she also works. So this whole idea that he just want to control you, not a man of value and a man that's marriageable and the kind of man that we talking about over here. She sets about her work. Verse 17. Vigorously, her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. Let's go on over to the next part because that's a lot to handle. Look at this. When it snows, she has no fear, for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. You don't see nothing in now one of these verses where she prepares and plans just in case this don't work out. She got to make sure she got a stash on the side. Where y'all read that at in this? Y'all see that anywhere in this? Verse 23, her husband is respected at the city gate. Why? Because she respects him. Where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. So she's helping other people. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children arise and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all.
Oh, wow.
Charm is deceptive. Oh, going to Miami and getting your BBL done. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting.
Yeah.
But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor her for all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gates. Ladies, what y'all gotta say? I done said a lot.
Say amen.
The
That's
doors of the
awesome.
church is open, Lord.
That's, I mean, it's right there in black and white.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Ooh.
That's not a pick me woman, is it? That's a wife.
That's a wife.
That's not no, what is it, eternal girlfriend?
There ain't no eternal girlfriend.
That's a wife. Yeah.
That's a wife. And why can't we, what's wrong with teaching our daughters to have that kind of character? And still tell her to go to college, get your education, get your career, tell her to still do all of that. But then talking about you don't need a man, y'all need to read your whole Bible. You need to read your whole Bible. You say you're going to church, and that's why I was saying the other day, y'all praise and worship leaders, singing in the choir, ushers, prophetesses, all this other stuff. Read your whole Bible. Because then you start talking all this crazy that, I don't need a man. I just want a man to understand that I just want to be with him. That's some new world, modern day, early 1924, whatever year we in, just utter insanity. Because if you read the Bible and you know what the Bible says that Sarah called Abraham Lord. Y'all ain't ready for that conversation.
Paper Bible saved only.
And you won't even fix your man and bring him a plate. But yet you want him to propose to you and buy you a diamond ring that's half of what his salary is. That's, you know what I'm saying? How that whole thing about how he's supposed to choose a ring. You want that, but then you complain about bringing him a plate.
What's wrong with his hands? He can make his own plate.
He got 2 feet. He got 2 feet.
Wow. But you know, Keithy, you always talk about James. Oh Lord, have mercy. You always talk about, you know, because a lot of black people, a lot of our community are going to churches, and they're going inside the church. And for years I've been saying, okay, all these single men and women in this church, I used to be like, what the hell is going on? Why ain't nobody getting married? What's going on? I mean, are people being misled? Because that right there, I'm telling you, I see so many conferences with single women talking about I'm Proverbs 31 woman. And they having whole conferences with dinners, lunch, speakers, guest speakers. They flying out to Texas, going down to the mega church and
Oh Lord.
to the Proverbs 31 single women's conference. I'm done. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
So I mean, a lot of women are in the church, but I'm confused. You got to. Wow, it's right there in what? It's right there.
Black and white. It came right out the
It is.
Bible.
Right.
Right out the Bible. And then they don't say nothing about, all of this other stuff that we keep saying.
Wow.
Look, right here, the reason why I love these two women right here, and they coming on the podcast and on the show, and they are staples and hallmarks. Just can't be done without them. So that y'all can see living examples. All the statistics and stuff that we talk about, I said it in a video, the stuff can be changed if we just start doing something different.
Absolutely.
We see what ain't working. That's why I use the statistics, so we can see the stuff that we doing ain't working. So we can do something different and have some different outcomes.
Yeah.
But the first thing people will say is, you just saying ain't no hope for me. No, I'm saying change your attitude and your mindset.
Yeah.
What was that percentage you said from 1950s or something like that? That said,
1960.
60.
In 1960, women, you were only had a 5% chance that you wouldn't get a husband. In 1960. And in 1965, it was like 7%. You had a 7% chance that you wouldn't get a husband. But now, look at what has happened to us. We are the least married group. And guess what? We have the least amount of wealth. And they are directly interlinked and tied to each other. Least married and least wealth.
Just say family, the foundational, which is normally
Family, the foundation of generational wealth.
the foundation of generational wealth.
Wow.
Yep.
Whoa.
And then when I said it, the statistic, 86% of millionaires are married, I had a friend tell me, so you trying to say that single people can't be millionaires? See, that's how we think. That's exactly how we think. Because we don't want to do nothing. We don't want to put the work in to do something different to get a different outcome.
Right.
86% of millionaires are married. Now, I'm not saying that it ain't possible, but when you run the statistics, it is very difficult, and the odds are stacked against you when you are a single mother. We showed you the income statistics. When you are a single mother, never been married, and you are in that 52.3% of single mothers that have never been married, you're going to have a serious barrier if you're talking about becoming a millionaire.
Right.
Statistics show that the average income ain't even $50,000.
Wow.
And 52.3% of single mothers have never been married. But then people will say, but. The statistics already show you that we only as black people have a 6.4% probability and chance of even becoming a millionaire. Why would we keep doing things to make it more difficult and challenging to do?
Right.
When you only have a 6-point probability and chance as a black person in this country of becoming a millionaire, and that statistic goes down after the age of 40.
Wow.
I think it might be time for us to wrap this whole meeting up. What you think, Deja? I want to give the floor, though, to you all to let you all say whatever you want to say on anything that we've talked about and really put the nail in it, because they need to hear from y'all, because I talk a lot on the podcast, and they need to hear from you all so you all can tell them, because maybe they think, well, he's just saying that because he's a man or whatever. I just want them to really hear from you all so they'll know the level of, yeah.
No, it's just like you say, at this stage, a lot of people have to determine whether they see themselves truly as being a wife or potentially being single the rest of their life, or even being an eternal girlfriend. It's never too late, but
Nope.
When it's all said and done, we have to, like you always say, James, change the narrative. And how do we go about changing the narrative is we got to look inwardly, take accountability and begin to make those hard decisions that can change our life for the better. That's pretty much
Facts.
what I have to say.
Facts. Aubrey.
I don't really have any last minute words or anything. I just enjoy being on here because I learn too. I learn a lot from being on here. I learn a lot from other people's perspective, and so I don't have anything deep to say, but we have to start early with our children.
Yes.
And since our mom is gone, that means that we are the new matriarchs and patriarchs to be that example and to try to change it within our family. And hopefully that example, if we could change it within our family, maybe others can see that it can be done too. So
Absolutely.
Good. That's really good. Yeah.
Oh, that's real good. Absolutely. What we want you to do, and I hope that you do it, I ask every time. I didn't start it off with this video on purpose. I want you to press that thumbs up like button, press the heart button, and also I'm asking if you can share this video.
Yes.
If you know there's people in your family, friends, people that you know that need to hear this content. I know sometimes it's funny and things we laugh about, but there is so much information and content and so much value in these conversations that we have. I'm asking if you would share this video with somebody. You can go press the share button and send it directly to them through Messenger. You can share it on your page. Because we're here seriously trying to help us. I'm tired of seeing us struggling. And I'm tired of seeing us not being successful in marriage and relationships. It's time for us to start really doing better. And we have the capacity. We got the buying power to do it. $1.6 trillion black people in America. We're number 3. $1.6 trillion of buying power. We got the money to build wealth. But it's going to take us building together. So I'm asking, share this video. If you're watching on YouTube, do the same. Share the video. Press the thumbs up like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're still just barely over a month into the videos, into the content, the shows. Right? And also, share the video. Keep asking. Share. Share it. Okay, maybe you already got your stuff together. You got everything you need. But you got a whole lot of folk that you know that don't. And they need to listen to this. I know it's long. We'll break it up into increments. Listen to the first 10, 15 minutes. And then come back later tomorrow. The video stay up permanently. So press that thumbs up like button. Press the heart button. And also, more than anything, share this video.
Yes. Like and share. Like
and share. So guess what? I got to go. I got to go. So we out.
peace.